Happy day from the West Texas VA. I'm Marcia, and this is Healthy Cooking with Marcia. I'm a registered dietitian here at the West Texas VA. I want to say something before I say anything else, and it's a web address. And that web address is www.nutrition.va.gov. That's where today's recipe comes from today, and we're going to make an apple crisp. And I'm adapting it from a blueberry crisp. So the great thing about crisps is that 1, they're easy, 2, they're healthy, and 3, they're very adaptable. You can use berries, you can use apples, you can use pears, you can use peaches, any kind of fruit you want to use that you have plenty of, you can use it. So today, I have apples. And these are apples from Big Spring. We have a coworker, and she's going to come test this apple crisp with us today. Her name is Ione. They are off her mother's trees in her backyard, and her mother is 95 years old. And I happen to know her father was a veteran. So I'm going to use these apples today to make my apple crisp. Because I adapted a recipe from a blueberry recipe, and because I'm a dietitian and I want to make everything super healthy, I went ahead and cut these apples pretty small. You can see that. I also left the skin on. My grandmother would just die if she knew what I was doing, but there is so much good nutrition in the skin that I left it on. And because I want that skin on there, I want to make sure that I cut it small enough so that skin is not too tough. These are good cooking apples. They're a variety of different trees. I think a Gala, maybe a Granny Smith. Your better cooking apples will have a more tender skin and cook up a little more tender, a little more sweet, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So nice and easy. All I'm going to do is take 3 cups of apples, and put them in an 8x8 baking dish. Can't get any easier than that. The other thing with apples is they do turn brown. So I sprinkled a little bit of lemon juice, or tossed my apples in lemon juice to keep them a pretty color. But because I am adapting a recipe that's calling for ginger, and I wasn't sure I wanted ginger on my apples, I will put on this, put all this on the computer so you can see all of what I'm doing here. But I thought I'm going to toss them with vanilla. I'm going to use cinnamon, and apple crisp recipes generally have cinnamon. Because this is a healthy recipe, it's a little bit lower in sugar. And anytime you're trying to get good, smooth sweetness with a little less sugar, vanilla and cinnamon really do add to that sweet taste. And they add to it naturally. They don't add extra sugar, and they don't add extra calories. So cinnamon and vanilla are really important in a lot of fall baking, and they're really important in making healthy desserts taste more decadent. So I put a little bit of vanilla in those, and so you can see that little bit of brown, but really as long as this apple stuff has been sitting, looks pretty good. I sprayed my pan with pan spray first, and now over here I've got all of my crisp ingredients. So I've got some white whole wheat flour, a little bit of cinnamon, like half a teaspoon of cinnamon, some butter that's been softened, some brown sugar, and oats, just plain old oats out of the container. Haven't been cooked, they haven't been soaked, and they make such a nice topping that I'm just going to do it with those good healthy oats. I want to point out one other thing while I'm working here. White whole wheat flour. It just sounds like something that's sort of fake, but it's a thing. So white whole wheat flour is actually made from a white hard wheat berry. So you're getting a good whole wheat punch of nutrition, but you're getting it with normal looking flour. So consider using a little white whole wheat flour in your next baking project. Most whole wheat flours are made with red hard wheat berries. So this is just a different kind of wheat berry. Here's my softened butter. Another thing I'll mention is when your recipe calls for softened, you really want to use softened and not melted. Because butter, when it's a little soft, kind of stays together in your recipe, and that's what makes doughs and pastries a little more tender, is to have little pockets of butter as opposed to melted butter that's just oil and just mixes into everything. So I'm going to stir all this together. In a recipe like this, crumbly is all you're trying to shoot for. I'm not trying to make a dough. I'm just trying to get all my ingredients mixed together. Okay, done with that. So now all I'm going to do is pour this, or sprinkle this. And I've got my 375-degree oven ready to go down in the kitchen. And all I gotta do is cook this until the oats look kind of toasty on top. Welcome back, everyone. My apple crisp has baked. I will make a little note, since I chopped those apples a little finer, since I left the skin on, it doesn't look traditionally apple pie-ish, but I am sure hoping the taste is still there. So with me, I spoke about her earlier, is Ione Crane Rangel. She is in logistics over the warehouse, and these are her mother's apples. So I wanted her to try them. And her mother has turned 96, and these are Granny Smith, mostly Granny Smith, and maybe some other kind of apples. And so she graciously agreed to try our apple crisp today. And I do want to say in advance that we do call each other every morning when we plan our outfits, just so you know.
All right.
Thank you, and give it a try,
All
Ione.
right, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. I can't wait to make some for my mom. Wow, it's good. It's really good. Wow.
Fantastic.
She's gonna like it.
And so
I took a bite for her.
Exactly, and so healthy. Well, you can have that. That's all yours.
Very good.
Great.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Oh, I appreciate you giving
yeah.
giving us the apples, and I appreciate you coming over here to taste today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for using them.
Our pleasure. Really good apples, really healthy. As I said earlier, all the ingredients are healthy. The recipe will be here, right here, for you to refer to. And please reach out. I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. Reach out. We're all just a phone call away. Your registered dietitians and your registered dietitian nutritionists are here with any questions. We still have cooking classes. We have diabetes classes, weight management classes, and we see veterans individually. So please holler at us. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much from the West Texas VA. Happy fall. Enjoy those apples. Call us with any questions. Thanks again. Bye.